Well, welcome back, everybody. This was unprecedented, but I had to come back. I misread a couple of cards. I am sorry. I misread a couple things in this last tier list video, so I'm going to redo this. I also forgot two of the commanders, the Brothers War commanders. I forgot those, but who can blame me? There were so many commander sets this last year. I just glossed right over those. So okay, we're just gonna jump right in and fix this. So first things first, before I get to these the two Brothers War commanders, I misread Nayali. I thought you could only do one exiled card and then like play it. In my head, I was thinking, oh, you can only do one thing per turn, and all this stuff. But Nayali is actually really good. Somebody pointed this out to me in the comments. And so your attacking tokens you control have double strike whenever one or more tokens you attack a player. So not just like whenever one or more tokens attack, it's whenever they attack a player. So you can get like 3 different triggers on these things. So that's like 3 cards, and then you can play them like any point. I thought it was just during your turn. In my head, I was like, oh, on a turn that you attacked, and I was like, oh, that's just the one turn. But no, it's actually whenever you attack with a token, they just stay exiled, and you can play them whenever you want. So that could be lands, and then you could be just like instants and sorceries. So as you're attacking, you can play those cards. Or I guess just instants, not the sorceries. But anyway, it's way cooler than I thought it was. So where did I put Nayali? Nayali I put like in F tier because I was like, oh, that doesn't work at all. But no, I'm actually going to put Nayali up in like, it's actually a really good tokens commander. And your tokens do die pretty easily to something. Also, somebody pointed out nobody uses Anger of the Gods, and I would agree with you. I meant Blasphemous Act. Everything's much more different now. But A tier, it's a great token commander if you're going for tokens. Henzi, Toolbox, Torre. I think I misplaced Henzi because in my head I'm thinking, oh, you play a big creature and then it dies and that's it. Somebody pointed out in the comments again, if you use this, it's going to be used as more of a big spells commander. So they had the example of, I wrote it down, Sea Guide Ash. Just like that searches for 3 lands and then it dies, and then you draw a card and you get three forests or lands or whatever. That's really good. Plus it can cost a ton less. Look, I'm gonna grab this notebook here because I wrote these things down. Yeah, so you could use it for Protean Hulk, World Spine Worm, Kokusho or Junji, or even like Worm Coil Engine. Throw those in the deck and you're getting nothing but value. And these spells can cost a ton less. So in my head, it did not compute in my head. Henzi is really good. I'm putting that up in A tier because, I don't know, everybody's kind of building off of that. Apparently, it's one of the most popular Jund commanders now. And I understand why now. I did not even think, I was thinking, oh, the Precon, it was kind of boring. It was like, whatever. But if you put these cards in, you get instant value, like just a ton. I don't know, you could kill Henzi, put him in the graveyard, then bring him, and then, cast him again, and then cast him again, and then your spells cost 3 less, and then you're just like going like crazy. Anyway, really good commander, actually. What's holding him back from S tier, though? I don't know. Casting from the command zone multiple times starts to get pricey, and I think that's the only downfall. But I guess you could run the card that makes your commander cost less. I don't know. He's pretty cool. I'm going to put him upper A tier. Like, really close to S. So it's actually pretty good. See, this is what happens when I misread cards, is I make stupid mistakes. And Hello, the Painter. And Hello, the Painter, 1/3 Death Touch. First instant or sorcery cast each turn has casualty 2. Again, in my head, I'm sorry, I read it as on your turn you could do, or I might have read it how it is, but in my head I was thinking, oh, you can only, the first one you do on your turn has casualty 2, but it's each turn, and you can copy really good spells, especially with blue. Just copy an instant or sorcery the next turn, or like copy your demonic tutor, copy your opt. Just kidding, don't that's anyway. You get the idea. It's really neat. I think it's a really, really, really good concept. I think there's something a little bit holding back from being uh, the best blue, black, red Spellslinger commander, though. But I am going to put it up. And I'll put it in A tier. I think A tier is pretty good for Angelo because you're getting the spells and you can copy them more or less for free as long as you have a creature with power 2 or greater. So that's actually pretty cool. And it's each turn. It's not just your turn. Drill that in my skull. Mishra, Eminent One, beginning of combat on your turn. I don't really know these cards very well at all. Brothers War just I just almost skipped through most of these because there's so many things going on last year. So beginning of combat on your turn, create a token that's a copy of a target non-creature artifact you control, except this name is Mishra's War Form, and it's a 4/4 construct in addition to its other types. It gains haste until end of turn, and then you sacrifice at the beginning of the next end step. Okay, so you make a copy, and then this is another one you could do with like Wormcoil Engine. You make a copy of it, except its name changes, so that gets around the legend rule. You copy it for free during combat, gains haste, and then you sacrifice it instead of exile it, which more dice triggers. That's actually really cool. And there's a ton of like dice triggers and copy triggers in that set, if I remember correctly. So that's actually really neat. That would be a pretty good one. The blue, black, red is really, really good in for artifacts too. Oh, yeah, that's a really good artifact commander. And there's not many hard artifact commanders in blue, black, red. Mishra's Worm Form A tier, probably. You're getting immediate bonus. You can even put like the Saheeli in there, right? You get something crazy. You just like dump something crazy out, like I don't know. Again, Wormcoil Engine, for example. Copy it, and then get its bonus. You could even run like Liquid Metal Torque, make something else an artifact, and then copy that, stuff like that. And then it's just that's really cool. I love artifacts, but that's a really strong artifact commander, really good. And I think those colors needed a strong artifact commander, so I like it. Urza, Chief Artificer. Okay, so this is another artifact commander. It's in Esper colors. Usually it's Izzet and then Esper. Those are like the two big artifact colors. So this has affinity for artifacts. Each artifact creature you control. Oh, for artifact creatures. Oh, neat. And so that could cost a bunch, like 3 less. I mean, than commander text, but still, even if you've got 3 of those artifact creatures, it's Esper and then commander damage. Struggling today. Esper and commander text. Artifact creatures you control. Menace. That's really good. Especially with, I did get a bunch of like Brothers War, like Titan guys that are like with the prototype stuff. So it's just like getting so much value out of those. Giving a menace. That's incredible. And then at the beginning of your end step, create a 0/0 colorless construct. This is kind of similar to what the other Urza did. Gets +1/+1 for each artifact you control. Oh man, yeah, that's really, Urza's always good. Like, that's a great Esper artifact commander. I think that might be one of the better Esper artifact commanders. So, because the other ones are like, yeah, you do have like some good stuff, but I think this one takes the cake for Esper. Is it S tier? That's the question. He helps himself cost less, gives all your artifact creatures menace, which is really strong in combat, especially with artifacts and all the synergies. And you make a creature that gets bigger and bigger, or you get multiple creatures that get bigger and bigger, like on your end step. I think Mishra and Urza are pretty close. I think they're like neck and neck for like. There's no wonder they put them in the same. Like put them out at the same time, right? They're really good. What makes things an S tier though? That's the question. Because I was talking about Nalia in the video, right? I always go back to her because, or she helps all the things with her, like the party thing, and she makes them bigger. You can cast things. Like, she's just like the full package, and that's what all of these kind of do, is they give you the full package of, they give you like three things. You helps the theme move along. It helps you cast the things, or like gives you some sort of value with those things, and it buffs the things. So it's kind of like categories. I guess there's slightly different ones for each thing, but these two kind of do that, right? They give you a thing, and then so with Mishra, it's like he does the thing well because he copies it and then it sacrifices, and so there's like this whole synergy thing going on, especially and with Urza as well. So he makes himself cost less. All his things get better in combat, and he makes a thing. So it's just like all these things are really good. But I do think he's slightly better than Mishra in a way, because he helps out in combat. Mishra does get those death triggers. Okay, anyway, I'm rambling on, but let me know what you think. Let me know if I got anything wrong. Yeah, hopefully this fixes everything. But awesome. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys next time for your weekly dose of magic.